And we are back. Our guest today is Svetlana Weiss, a New York gallerist with an insider's knowledge of the city's art districts. Svetlana will reveal the secrets of these neighborhoods and guide us through the exhibitions on display this December and January. Subscribe to the New York Insider. We have plenty more to share. The Chelsea Art District was conceived as a hub for conceptual art. It was born from the ruins of the sweet, warm, and kind SoHo, where art of any kind was once welcomed with open arms amidst charming studios, restaurants, and cafes. But slowly, all of that faded away due to skyrocketing real estate prices, creating a need for a place where art could be produced more affordably. Thus, Chelsea was formed. The very idea of this art district is conceptual, as is its location. For instance, it has strictly defined boundaries. All galleries must be situated between 10th and 11th Avenues, stretching from 17th Street up to roughly 33rd or 34th Street. Anything outside these addresses ceases to be conceptual. But inside, that is true concept art. Live how you want, but follow the rules. And there are rules. For example, all gallerists must wear black, maintain a haughty demeanor, and avoid being too friendly with one another. In general, the district can feel somewhat inhospitable, rigid, straight streets, with no cafes or restaurants to speak of, and over the years they still haven't appeared. They simply don't fit the concept. But the beginning of this district was amazing. The concepts were beautiful. The exhibitions were stunning. I still can't quite grasp the concept of one gallery where a helicopter hovered overhead, while an artist hung suspended above the gallery, scattering things and shouting. It was terribly interesting, if completely baffling. I remember garbage trucks hauling away piles of refuse, which turned out to be part of the concept. It was funny, cool, and incredibly interesting. And it seemed like it would continue to develop that way. Indeed, Chelsea became the flagship of conceptual art for the entire world. Then came 2008. The economic crisis hit and everyone thought, that's it, nothing will survive here. But surprisingly, all 479 galleries, if I recall correctly, came under the blow of that crisis. Some disappeared, but many survived. No one expected that. Approximately 300 galleries reopened. Then came COVID, and again, they said nothing would survive. Yet they survived again. Apparently, the concept is strong, mixed with something powerful. People are interested, and they keep coming. In my view, the galleries have split into two distinct trends. First, there are the financially stable galleries that have survived everything and will survive much more. They occupy the ground floors with massive spaces. These are Gagosian, Matthew Mark's Gallery, and so on. These ground floor spaces are incredibly expensive, and these galleries operate at a museum level. They can afford, for example, to exhibit a single work in a massive hall, or show Jeff Koons, or bring in works through giant gates, or even dismantle walls and ceilings to install Richard Serra's sculptures. These are the financially stable ones. New art is born there. It makes sense to watch them to see where the future lies. Then there are the other galleries, located on the upper floors, renting spaces to poorer artists, emerging talent, relatives of artists, and so on. And while not everyone likes this method of developing art and the art business has a right to exist. Perhaps something will come of it. If not, no big deal, someone paid for it, so it's all normal. There's no need to view it tragically. If you want to come to Chelsea to find something new, definitely do so. But it won't be quick. It's not a matter of one weekend or even two. It takes a whole season, maybe two. Only then will you learn to understand where art is truly being born and where it is merely established and priced. But it makes sense to search for what is being born. Come and see. There are no tour guides. Trust no one, search for yourself, and you will find. The Larry Gagosian Gallery is far from the only one on the map of Manhattan. There are several, and they all hold museum status. The Chelsea Gallery, one of the first to open, is massive, occupying half a city block. The works by Jeff Koons in this exhibition, titled Porcelain Series, may well take their place under museum spotlights in the future. As strange as that might seem to us, the intrigue of these sculptures lies in the fact that they are not made of porcelain, as the title suggests, but of polished aluminum, which is then painted. Koons has been fascinated by these artistic crafts for decades, And while he didn't invent the technology for polishing curved forms, it was his works that became world famous. Sculptures made in the style of deliberately vulgar kitsch are also a Koons trademark, one that enjoys not just success, but real commercial realization. Much has been argued about this, and there's no point in starting again. Before the exhibition, Jeff Koons gave a typically laconic interview to Alison McDonald explaining it all. The only new element in the exhibition is the paintings on the walls, which is surprising, as the master, according to his own past statements to the press, hasn't made anything with his own hands for a long time. But here he deigned to do so, and we must appreciate it. He names the sculpture Diana as the standout work of the exhibition. Philippe Labaune Gallery presents the works of Lorenzo Mattotti, a renowned Italian artist born in 1954 who lives and works in Paris. His work is recognizable by its fragile lines and powerful color palette. It transcends traditional boundaries. His explorations span comics, illustration, animated film, and painting. Known for his expressive graphics and color, Mattotti explores movement in its most varied manifestations: the intimacy of dynamic bodies, the continuous flow of nature, the interaction between human and machine, and more. Human movement in Mattotti's work is conveyed through short, intense cycles. But beyond this, the figures convey emotional resonance. He has been the subject of over 40 solo exhibitions worldwide, including retrospectives at the Palazzo delle Esposizioni in Rome, the Franz Hals Museum in Harlem, the Porta Romana Museum, and others. Lisson Gallery presents Tower, a solo exhibition by the celebrated painter Scully, featuring 3 interconnected cycles of work. The eponymous new series, Tower, represents a radical departure from his usual style and a bold revision of his creative practice. Each canvas is formed from a chain of small, separate panels which, at first glance, borrow various styles and moments from his own artistic past. Through order and disjointedness, a newfound harmony and rhythm are born, hinting at an earlier spiritual era of art. Lisson Gallery is also showing the first solo exhibition of Tishan. For over 4 decades, Xu has explored the rapidly evolving intersection of the human body and technological systems. He has chosen digital imagery, industrial surfaces, and biomorphic forms as his language. His new exhibition features a range of wall objects, sculptural LED screens, and large-scale visual installations. Xu's painting seems far from traditional, though his early art education was grounded in high Western canons and artistic technique. Beyond technical mastery and artistic heritage, Xu's abiding interest remains the increasingly blurred boundaries between human and machine, or more precisely, between society and the screen. It makes sense to look closely at what the master is saying. He warns that the internet has become something more than just a repository of information. It now acts as the primary mediator of reality, a surrogate friend, and ultimately, a mirror reflecting our essence. SoHo Gallery presents The Overview, a cycle of works by Cheryl Molnar. The author analyzes the formation of landscapes through both natural and artificial means. In other words, the artist places sun umbrellas on a beach, sculptures in a field, futuristic buildings in the mountains. She calls these collage landscapes. And under this slogan, one can really roam free. Provided, of course, one has the artistic skills. She transforms simply beautiful places into utopian ones. Why? Only she knows. She experiments with consciousness and imagination, then meditates. The second exposition presents Memories, a selection of paintings by Roxy Smith. As the artist says, she introduces an intimate language of joy into everyday life and landscapes. She builds a bridge from the mundane to a zone of happiness. She achieves this with incredibly bright colors, devoid of shades and other artistic excesses. Well, let's wish them luck and full speed ahead. Yoonju Kim, with the exhibition Distant Light at the Anna Zarina Gallery, is a South Korean artist living in New York. He is 40 years old, has a fine art education, and already holds many awards. Perhaps because, contrary to modern trends, he chose realism as the basis of his compositions, which in itself arouses interest. In his essay for the exhibition, He states that he attempts to express the anxious state of a person experiencing discomfort, financial difficulties, and poor health, who must therefore leave. Anxiety lies at the core of his works. It seems to me he borrows a little from Edward Hopper, his green color and certain compositions, as well as paying homage to the genius of Vermeer. Very good teachers, but one must continue to search for oneself. Hunter Dunbar Projects presents a group exhibition, Minimum Maximum, juxtaposing different forms of abstraction. Organized by Hayden Dunbar and Benjamin Hunter, the exhibition, Maximally Minimal, unites approaches to 20th and 21st century abstraction in their extreme manifestations, refinement and expression. Subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so you don't miss our upcoming reviews, quests, and investigations.